cast iron skillet since I started using the cast iron skillet with you. Put cast iron in the chat if you've started using a cast iron skillet. Cast iron skillet, guys. No, nobody? Who wants to start using a cast iron skillet? And you're just not sure about it. You're just not sure about it. You want to or you are? Because now I'm not sure. Been using them. Good. Love them. If you want tips for 30 years, have you been using the same one for 30 years? Because they do wear out after a while. They do. Good. You want to use it. Yeah, good. You grew up using cast iron. That's fantastic. You've bought 4. Good. But you got to start using them now. Okay, good. You're not sure how to maintain them. All right, I'm going to tell you how to maintain them. You ready? Super easy. It's not as complicated as people make it out. When I learned this, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a no-brainer. Easy peasy. When you're done cooking, you wait for it to cool down. You take your pan to the sink and you get a steel wool, not a Brillo, not a Brillo. You could also just get a scrubby brush like so. Turn the water on, hot water, and scrub out any of the food particles that are in there. Don't worry if there's grease on there, doesn't matter. Then you're going to take that pan to the stovetop and you're going to turn the heat on and you're going to tell Alexa or Google to set a 3-minute timer, and then it'll dry it up. It'll dry up all the moisture, all the wet, and then you're going to put a little bit more oil in there and rub it around with a paper towel or a brush or something all around, and then let it sit on the stovetop, okay? Sometimes you'll find me putting it in the oven too if I just want to get it off the stovetop, and then use it again. Most cast iron skillets already come pre-seasoned, okay? Can you use that with, yeah, I am using an electric stovetop right here because of course my stove is over there and I want to face you. I don't want to have my side or back to you. So I have an electric stovetop right here that I'm using my cast iron skillet on. And yes, you can dry a cast iron skillet on a on an electric stovetop as well. I love gas. You'll see me flounder, no pun intended with the flounder a little bit with using the electric because I can't comprehend the heat with electric. I can absolutely comprehend the heat with gas because I've been cooking with it since I was a kid. So gas to me is the way to go. But yes, you can do it with electric. Now, if your cast iron skillet has rust in it, don't worry, don't worry. I want you to pour a bunch of salt in there. I want you to put some oil in there. I don't care what kind of oil, really doesn't matter. And scrub, scrub, scrub with a scrubber. Get rid of all of that rust. Just scrub it all out, use water, rinse it out. If there's any more rust, what do? More salt, more oil, scrub. Then you're going to coat the whole thing, top, bottom, everywhere, with a really good oil. Olive oil's fine. Put it in the oven for an hour, and that will season the pan, okay? It might stink up the house a little bit, but that will season the pan. And you get this nice coating on the pan. If you wash it, oh my gosh, a couple of weeks ago, my husband thought he was doing me a favor because I didn't clean the pan out. I was waiting for it to cool off, and I fell asleep. I didn't do dishes that night. And I woke up the next morning. He thought he was doing me a favor. He soaked the pan in water. And I'm like, no. Thank goodness no rust came up. I was able to scrape everything out. And I did need a little bit more oil in there. But yeah, don't soak your pan. Scrub it out. Dry it right away. Dry it right away. All right, enough with cast iron. Enough with cast iron. Oh, yeah, don't throw them out. Don't throw them out. As a matter of fact, I have found some at yard sales and that were rusty and rescued them in the past, that is, in the past. So yeah, you can rescue a cast iron skillet. The beauty of a cast iron skillet is it cooks evenly. It cooks evenly. It cooks beautifully. And it gives you iron. You actually get iron from cooking in cast iron, especially when you use acidic foods like vinegars or tomatoes or what else is anything that's acidic.